What's up, YouTube? This is Brett with Baseball Prospect Analysis, and today we're going to talk about Hunter Greene, a class of 2017 shortstop and right-handed pitcher. But first, let's cue the intro. So this report is actually from 2016 when he was a junior in high school. He was a 6'4", 197-pound shortstop and right-handed pitcher from Stevenson Ranch, California. He attended Notre Dame High School and was said to have potential to be a generational player. He's extremely athletic with long levers and very projectable. Shortstop primarily, secondary pitcher, elite potential at both spots. At shortstop, he had advanced footwork with easy professional-like movements with big arm strength to back it up. At the plate, he had a long and fluid swing with big lofting power and excellent timing. He's the winner of the PG All-American Home Run Derby, and on the bump, he had a low-effort delivery, featuring a long whipping arm action, elite hand speed with a three-pitch mix, a fastball that sits in the mid-90s with ability to touch higher, a slurve-type breaking ball with plus spin, and a changeup that's thrown aggressively at fastball arm speed that sits between 85 and 86 with some premium fade at times. Now, obviously, that report was from his junior year, and if you've heard about him or watched any footage, you know that, he tops out a little over 100 miles an hour by his senior year. But anyways, let's go over some of his accomplishments in high school, both on and off the field, something we don't get to talk about a lot with some of these prospects. So I think it's really safe to say that at a young age, Hunter Greene's talent was certainly recognized. At 14, he was clocked throwing 93 miles an hour on the mound. And at that point, he was offered a scholarship to UCLA and USC. At age 15, he was the State Player of the Year. And later on in high school, in his 4 years at Notre Dame, he slashed a .337 average with 13 home runs and 72 RBIs. Pitching-wise, he posted 1.62 ERA, 12 wins, 5 losses, and 121 innings, with 145 strikeouts. And as many of you guys probably already know, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with a caption reading, "Baseball's LeBron," or "The New Babe Ruth." Very similar to the Sports Illustrated Bryce Harper issue cover, if you ask me, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, off the field, he gained some pretty good accomplishments as well. At age 13, he won an essay writing contest and got to meet Jackie Robinson's daughter. And over the course of high school, he also received 4 certificates of recognition from LA politicians for his community service contribution. And I gotta say, it's pretty impressive to see stuff like that. Because when athletes get to the professional level, they are encouraged a lot to help with the community, make donations, and, help out certain charities. But when you're just a high school prospect, albeit top of the line prospect, but you're not gaining millions of dollars every year to play, it's really refreshing to see someone like Hunter go throughout the community and help them out in certain ways. Now let's talk about the 2017 MLB draft. At only 17 years old, because he was pretty young for his grade, Hunter was drafted number 2 overall by the Cincinnati Reds. He secured a $7.23 million signing bonus, one of the largest signing bonuses ever out of the MLB draft. He was drafted as a pitcher, but Reds general manager Dick Williams stated, "We're going to leave the door open for both. This is a very unique situation, something we have never been confronted with before." He added that pitching will be the main focus for the first year, but he will get his at-bats. Greene was also quoted saying, "Whatever they want me to do, I'm going to be pumped to do it. Just compete and be the best I can be." That's certainly a solid attitude to have for Hunter, considering he was primarily a shortstop before. And I think it might be a little bit different if he wasn't the number 2 overall and wasn't getting that type of money. But when you get that type of money at that draft spot, I don't think you really ask too many questions about what the team asks of you. It is crazy to me, though, that this kid was a shortstop primarily and really and was, set on that being his primary position. And this dude just throws 100 plus so effortlessly, and he's so athletic. It's really special to see, and I really can't wait to see more in the future. But, let's go over his pro career so far. In 2017, Greene would see little or no action, only throwing 4.1 innings and 30 ABs. He would gather 7 hits with a .233 average, as well as a 12.46 ERA with 6 strikeouts and 6 earned runs. Numbers-wise, it definitely wasn't a good start, but the sample size was so small there really wasn't much concern. In 2018, they would send him to full-season A-ball in Dayton. There, he seemed to either have a good to great performance or would fall apart like against Lansing, where he gave up 7 earned runs in .2 innings. These games unfortunately raised his ERA greatly compared to his efficient outings, resulting in a final number of 4.48 with 68.1 innings pitched. However, he did rack up 89 strikeouts with only 23 walks. Once again, I'd say the numbers weren't extremely worrisome considering the potential he holds, and the punch-out numbers he displayed were certainly impressive. And unfortunately, like many hard-throwing right-handed pitchers out of the draft, the curse of Tommy John got a hold of Greene. On April 1st, 2019, Greene announced he was to go under the knife for a UCL reconstruction. However, 14 months later, Greene released a video demonstrating his newly refined mechanics as well as a healthy 102-mile-an-hour fastball. Not a bad comeback if you ask me. Shortly after, Greene secured the number 30 overall ranking in the minors by MLB Pipeline and number 2 in the red system behind Nick Lodolo. So the good news is his velo seems to be back, mechanics look much cleaner, and his arm seems to be pretty healthy. Bad news is that due to a lack of a 2020 minor league season, he didn't get any live game innings in, so this makes him much tougher to evaluate. In essence, it's almost like evaluating him as a high school or college prospect due to his lack of in-game reps. In the past 2 years, he's gotten little to no game time, and he's almost just a rookie again. Now let's get into my personal take. I've already seen articles in 2020 and 2021 calling him a bust, though they definitely could be right, especially with the recent trend of prep right-handed pitchers taken in the draft. I think it's way too early to say that. And claiming he's a bust right now is certainly disrespectful to Greene. I've seen all the workouts and stuff he's been doing on Instagram, and you can tell the kid's working his ass off. I think it's a little disrespectful to call him off right now. This kid is a competitor, a bulldog type on the mound, and for every negative he's shown in the past, it's almost always paired with a huge positive. However, if he is the competitor I think he is, these articles might be that extra motivation that feeds the chip on the shoulder mentality that he has post-surgery. He's obviously a very confident athlete, and when these types hear bad press about them, they tend to do everything in their power to prove them wrong. Now you might think I'm reaching a little bit here, but hear me out. In all the tape I've seen on him, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, fist pumping and shouting on strikeouts and getting all hyped when a teammate makes a good play. It also doesn't seem toxic or arrogant, it just seems like he loves to win. Like I stated before, we kind of have to base his breakdown on his potential rather than his current pro numbers, due to his age, surgery, new mechanics, and lack of games played. So my prediction is that he starts out a bit rocky in 2021, has some in-game hiccups as he learns the feel for the pro game again, but ultimately has a solid year. His velocity can play at all levels, and so can his competitive spirit, but his secondary stuff needs to be seen in game before I can fully evaluate it. All in all, I think Greene's best years are ahead of him. I wouldn't be shocked to see him in AAA in 2 years if things click. Personally, I'd like to see him stay in the starting rotation, but if all else fails, he certainly could be an effective reliever. I project his soon to be a number 2, number 3 starter in the Reds rotation in the future. With the future floor of an MLB bullpen guy, he certainly could bust if injuries come into play or his secondaries don't produce. But compared to other pitchers I've broken down before, he doesn't seem to have that trademark high walk rate or mental fatigue others have shown. On top of that, this kid's resume speaks for itself. He's clearly a highly intelligent competitor who loves to play the game and shows it. The future, for now, still seems very bright for the young Hunter Greene. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. The goal is 100 subscribers before May 1st. Until then, I have some other videos you guys can check out on Riley Pint, Brady Aiken, and Jason Groom. All pretty good videos. I'll make sure the links are in the description. Have a great rest of your day, guys.